So what we got going on here is we have some Sandhill crane legs. We're doing these on the Traeger with some Traeger poultry rub. We're gonna got the grill all fired up, nice and hot, as we can see here. Ooh, look at that. I'm gonna put it on for about an hour, let it smoke, and then it's gonna go into the slow cooker. So we're back in the kitchen here, and what we've got is some nice fresh garden vegetables. Grew some jalapenos this year and some onions. The onions did not turn out to grow huge, but they have flavor and they're homegrown, so we're going to work with those. I'm not going to show you my terrible cutting skills, but my knifing skills are not what I would say is that of a chef. But here what we have is we have our onions and our garlic and our tiny little chopped up onions. We're going to fry off the onions a little bit and then throw the garlic and the jalapenos in and let them go for a little bit. In go the onions. We're going to cook these until they're soft. Then we'll add the garlic and the jalapeno. Get a little color on these onions so that they taste a little better. Always adds flavor. Throw in the garlic and the jalapenos. Let them sit and stew for a few minutes. So we also squeezed in a couple of limes into the stuff. And here's the secret ingredient. Tequila, 3 shots. Add in some honey and some chicken stock. We'll put that into there once this boils down a little bit. So let's just check on these legs here. They've been on for about an hour, and that's all I want to do. Danielle's original recipe for this called for them to be browned, but I figured I'd put a little bit of smoke on them and see how that turned out. Well, they're looking pretty good. So let's take those off and put them in the slow cooker and let them stew all day. So here they are. They're looking fantastic. Broth and onions and jalapenos and all that stuff are good. So let's just go ahead and put those in. Looks good. Let's let those go and see how this is going to turn out. I'm going to do one little twist on this recipe here. I'm going to add in 1 chili chipotle and 1 guajillo pepper, just to stew in the mix and add a little bit extra flavor. We'll let that stew and cook for about 9 hours and then we'll take it out. Looking good. Just have to shred it now and pull it apart, and then we're ready to start putting it on tacos. Okay, so I'm just pulling it apart here. The interesting thing about these Sandhill cranes is how many tendons they have in the legs. As you can see, like, that's all tendons, so that's what you're pulling apart. That's why one of the reasons why I wouldn't want to try to eat one of these things just as a chicken leg. It's I think you'd spend most of your time picking the tough parts out of your teeth. But the meat cooked really nice. It's pulling apart well. And I think what we're going to have is some pretty tasty tacos here. So as I pull it apart here, you can see that the whole leg is just laced with those tendons. So we already got one leg apart, and you can see the pile of them that I got from the other one. So yeah, I'll show you what it's going to look like once we're done shredding these. So here's the finished product. On top of corn flour tortillas, we've topped it off with some red onions, some avocado, and some cilantro. They turned out absolutely fantastic, and I would highly recommend this recipe. They're nicknamed the ribeye of the sky, and they lived up to their reputation. Absolutely delicious.